Welcome back to the Switch Sports Golf Challenge Series. We're on day 9 now of trying to make those 10 eagles through the standard 18 holes of Nintendo Switch Sports Golf. I always start in this sports selection page so that I get completely random conditions. This is a random seed run. I have never seen the set of wins that I get when I just hit golf, hit one player, then hit 18 holes. Okay, we're going to see 0 wind on the first hole.
Nice shot.
Very key. However, we have that right middle pin that is often one of the more difficult ones to try to hit because it's a very precise spot. It's not the easiest, landmark to aim at. You have to aim this kind of in between the grid of the green if I zoom in there. So we'll use the 9-iron for sure. Let's hit this with about 3.5 dots of power, I want to say. I don't want to overpower this. I don't want to land this on the fringe either, though, so it's such a touchy shot. Let's try out about that power. We'll call it about there. That feels pretty good. Let's see if we can give this one a nice run.
Nice shot.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. That should just kick a little to the right, continue right, and fall on the first hole. So with no wind, it's very doable. However, it's not the easiest. Feels good to see that one fall, though. Let's move on to hole 2. See if we can keep a good round going here. An eagle on the first is always huge. That feels super nice to see that first one fall. What kind of wind are we going to see on the second hole? 4 miles an hour. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's aim this one. I want to call it to about there. This one's such a difficult one to try to predict. Let's aim it to about there. Move up to the spoon, as I always do on this pin, which I feel pretty okay about. Let's hit it with about that much power. Right about there feels about right. Let's see if we can give this one a good run and get lucky on the second hole. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That looks fairly promising. That should take a nice bounce on the green. Move right, and it'll fall on the second hole. Oh, man. I actually felt really overconfident in that one. That one I felt like, you know what? I'm going to get the adjustment right. I'm going to make it happen. And it hits it dead center. That feels really good for the confidence. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's try to make an eagle on 3. Get a good start to this round and try to get to 10 today. Let's make today the day that we get to 10. I also have darkness behind me. I'm playing at night, which I never really do with this challenge series. Typically, I record this during the day. It's not like intentional. I kind of just wake up and play and make it one of the first things that I do. But today I had to do it later at night. So let's try to make that, a good change of scenery for this challenge. Keep it rolling. I feel like I play better at night. I play competitively at night most of the time, and I feel like I play better when I play at night because I have a full day of the muscles being warmed up behind me. All right, let's lock into hole 3. We have a chip here that's pretty makeable with 6-mile-an-hour winds. The wind shouldn't move this sideways a whole lot, maybe just a bit to the left. So we'll aim this a little less left than I typically would. Let's call it about there. We'll hit it with a slight amount more power than I typically would. We'll call it about there. That feels pretty good. Let's give this one a good shot, and hopefully we'll see it fall. Right about there feels good. Okay. That feels promising. Hopefully that rolls back strongly. Oh, it just won't roll back enough. I just slightly overhit it. Man, oh man, we get 1 and 2, which we typically don't really do. My apologies for rhyming there. That first putt didn't even register. Okay, we'll tap in the putt. Oh man, hole 3 is always one of the more doable ones. We don't get it today though, which is, that was not the easiest of wins. 6 miles an hour is just just enough difficulty to call it moderate difficulty. We'll have to put that one behind us though. Let's move on to hole 4 and see if we can sink a nice one here. Let's aim this. I want to say to about there, quite a bit out to the right. With 15 miles an hour. Let's not do that much though. It's kind of diagonal. I kind of forget about the diagonalness of it. Let's hit it to about there. I think that's pretty decent. We'll put a bit of extra power on it because it's a little in the face as well, just very slightly. Let's try that out. See if we can get a nice lucky one here. Is that going to be good? Just not quite. I maybe had it in the right spot at first and then pull it back. With the diagonal wind on this hole, the hole isn't straightforward. Like, it doesn't align with the wind in terms of direction. So even diagonal wind ends up being kind of crosswind. We'll have to tap in a birdie here on 4. So after a great start, I just miss on hole 3 on what felt like a very doable one. Just slightly accounted too much for the headwind. And then on hole 4, we see some more difficult conditions, and it's just a slightly harder eagle there, or hole in 1, I should say. Okay, can we reach the green here? I don't think so. So let's just hit this one out left of that tree, which we have to do. Oh, hopefully that doesn't catch the leaves. I don't think it should. Yeah, that's fine. Can we get there in 2? I don't exactly know. It would feel really good if we did. Just put it at the bottom of that green and then put it up there. Maybe we can. Let's aim this out to there. This should move well left. Try to make this green. Nice if it's doable, we're going to do it because I felt like I gave that about the best line I could. That should take a nice first bounce, and we will end up on the green, which is very key. I think this should roll very, very straight. I feel like I've adjusted this putt before, and it hasn't worked out for me. So let's hit this one perfectly straight. Is perfectly straight the move? I think so. Maybe very slightly left, just in case, but let's hit this like over full power. Make sure we get it up there. Just slightly, slightly left, and this should hopefully fall. Okay, get up there. Ooh, and fall for the eagle. A nice one on hole 5. We are 3 for 5. That's a great start. If we can pick up just one more on the front, that would feel absolutely huge and give us a real good chance on the back 9. We are 8 under through 5 with 3 eagles on the scorecard. We're going to see some difficult wind here on hole 6, though. So let's actually use a strategy that I started using and then thought, you know what, maybe that's not the safest thing. And then I tried it more and more, and it actually has been pretty consistent. So let's just hit a little draw against the wind here. Are we going to end up in the tree? We might, and if so, that's actually kind of fine. Is that going to reach the fairway? It just won't, actually. So that's not the best. Okay. Hole 6 is just so difficult anyway, though. Let's actually bounce a 3-iron up there. And it's going to roll by the hole. It's a very small target, but it's a target. It's something that we can maybe hit, so we'll try it out. See if we can bounce one up there for a real lucky eagle. Because we have to go up and over that tree just a little bit. Is this going to be the one? Let's find out. This would be extremely lucky if this one even got closer. Actually, are we going to clip that tree? Oh, we won't. And we'll be within feet. However, because we play that one super aggressively, we end up 45 feet away. We'll have a tougher birdie putt here. So not the best in terms of scoring for this round with this putt, but we have to give it a chance. Let's hit this one. I'll call it about there on the aim. It should move a little to the right when it goes up that hill, so don't want to overdo it. Let's actually hit it slightly over full power. See if that works. Oh, it'll lip out on the right side, so it does in fact move a little bit back to the right at the very end. That causes that to just miss on the right side. Let's tap this one down there for a par. On some difficult conditions on hole 6, I mean, I had to play that one super aggressively. I don't think backspin was even really an option with where I ended up short of that fairway. So we had to roll that one down there. And when you roll it down there, oftentimes you end up quite far away. Okay, we see 22 miles an hour in the face here. Not the easiest of conditions, but this wind is in a very favorable direction. So this is actually kind of an opportunity here on hole 7. So let's just hit this one out there to the end of that first fairway. We'll end up in a real good spot. We should have a pretty pure upwind shot here at this green and at this pin. I want to land this on the green. With this wind, you want to just land this on the green. The rough takes too much speed off of it when you're landing on the green first. So we actually have to hit this one maybe to about there on the power meter. Let's try that out. See if we can get lucky. It feels about right. Let's try it out. Okay. Feels like I'm hitting that too far, but is that going to be fine? That actually looks quite good. Oh, take a kick to the right. Oh, it's just going to bounce over the hole. That was such a tough one to try to get perfectly. We end up in a spot where we almost always do whenever I miss. Just like 16 feet by, just have to aim this at the left edge, and it should roll down nicely for the birdie. But not the easiest of hole 7s there. I just slightly overhit it through that wind. Leave a nice putt, but it's just not a make. It's a tough make there with that wind. Let's move on to hole 8. Put that one behind us. Let's see what kind of conditions we're going to deal with. It's going to be 13 miles an hour, pushing to the right. This one's kind of a guess with this wind, but let's aim it to about there. We'll call that power about right, the power that I typically hit, because it's pretty pure crosswind, although maybe slightly in the face because I'm aiming out to the left a bit. So I want to add a little, like a touch extra. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Let's try it out. See if we can get a real lucky one. Okay, is that going to be the one that's actually looking... it was looking good until I hit it too far. So I put that little bit of extra power on it, and we'll end up on that back fringe. Because instead of doing 3 dots, I did like 3.05. I wouldn't even call that 3.1 dots of power. Let's see if we can save a birdie here on this little tough uphill, side hill putt. Want to avoid 2 pars on the front 9 if I were to get to 10 birdies. Oh, okay, that's a nice looking putt. We'll sink it at a high rate of speed, but the pin kind of saves that one. Let's move on to hole 9. Oftentimes, the final opportunity on the front 9. What kind of wind are we going to see? That looks pretty favorable, actually. 9 miles an hour. Is that doable? I guess we'll just have to find out. It's in the perfect direction. Now, is that enough wind strength to get there in 2? We'll have to put this one... Oh, is that directly behind the tree? I actually think we might have a shot around the tree. 304 yards. Yeah, we can actually hit this one up there perfectly. This is a perfect spot to be. Okay. We're feeling good about this one. This is actually absolutely perfect. Let's aim this to just a little out to the left. Hit it almost full power. Right about there. Feels pretty good. Let's try to get lucky and bounce this one up there.
Nice shot.
Okay, that feels about perfect. If that hits the fairway... Oh, it'll just clip the rough. If that hit the fairway, that would have taken a much bigger bounce. I just underpower it. We end up 50 feet away. Now, we have a makeable putt. We have a putt. Putts are huge. The fact that you can get a putt means that you have a chance. We have to hit this with so much power to get it up there. This is going to move a good amount to the right at the start. We'll call it about there. That actually feels pretty good. I'm pretty confident in that. Let's hit it above full power. Get this putt up there. See if we can get this one to sink. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, it'll fall. Another 50-footer on the front 9 for the eagle. I did not hit the best second shot, but the putter saves me. And we'll move on to the back 9 with 4 eagles on the scorecard. That's huge. I mean, I often say I need 4 or 5 to have a chance at 10. Now, are we going to see favorable conditions on the back here? Not a bad start. 4 miles an hour is not a bad start on this back 9. Let's lock right in and try to pick up 6 out of 9. Now, the back 9 is often much, much easier to make eagles on. Let's see if we can get a nice one here. So we have 4 mile an hour winds pushing to the right, also diagonal. Let's aim this one 2 squares left. That feels right. We'll hit it with nearly full power. I'm going to call this pretty much full power. Just slightly less. Very slightly less. Let's try that out.
Nice shot.
I think that's really good. I think that's really good. If that takes a nice first bounce and rolls, it'll fall. Eagle number 5 on hole 10. We are on such a good pace today. Let's keep this thing going. Wow, that one feels really good to see fall. Let's move on to 11. What kind of conditions are we going to see here? Okay, we've got some wind. I feel like we always see a 0 wind hole 11 until the time when we don't need it. Okay, what do we have to do here? Let's aim this one. We'll call it to there. Is that right? I just don't know. This feels like it might be overdoing it a little bit. But I also feel like I need to slightly overdo it with this wind. We'll put a little bit of extra power on it. We'll call it about that much. This is a scary shot. I really want to see this one fall. Let's try it out. Oh, I think I underpowered that, but we'll see if that gets lucky. That actually looks pretty good if that takes a nice first landing. It's going to zip back down a little too strongly and just miss. So some tough wind there on hole 11 with that maximum crosswind. Kind of diagonal as well. I just underpower it. If I hit that slightly further, maybe that would be on a decent line, but that was also coming in at a very unfamiliar angle, so it's tough to tell exactly what the green was going to do there. I gave it a decent run, just didn't quite put the power on it that I wanted, and we'll have to tap in the birdie and move on to hole 12. Now, hole 12 is oftentimes one of the easier ones. Let's hit this one out there to that shortcut fairway. We'll have a very straightforward shot at this very, very accessible pin and just try to pick up the straightforward eagle here. Let's not do anything too wild in terms of trying to put this one super, super close or cut it too close to the bunker is really what I should say. So let's aim it to there. That feels good. Hit it with that much power, I'd say. That feels pretty solid. Let's try it out. Okay, that should be on a decent line to be safe. That should just take a nice kick. And we'll end up about 10 or so feet away. A nice eagle putt. 9.4 feet, a pretty good guess. We just have a very, very straight putt here for the eagle. Let's tap in eagle number 5. Or 6, I should say. This is eagle 6, actually. I made it on 10. So eagle 6 is on the way. It'll fall. And we're on a pretty good pace here. If we can pick up just one extra from those 9 eagle rounds, we'll be in really good shape. Okay, what kind of wind are we going to see on 13? Not looking good. 15 miles an hour in the face. Oh, what do we do about this one? I actually don't want to use spin here. I feel like I always use spin and it kind of hurts me. I never quite get there. I feel like the roll-up has a better shot. Let's try that out, that power. Try to bounce one up. See if we can get nice and lucky. Is that going to be the one? Take a little kick to the left. It's just not quite going to do it. Oh, that was not the best miss. I thought that would kick significantly more left on that first bounce. But maybe I'm just not familiar with that play. Not the easiest wind. When you need the game to cooperate, sometimes it just doesn't. We'll have to tap in a birdie after just not even really putting it close. I thought I could give that one a good shot. I thought the wind would push that more left. I thought the kick would go more left. But the front of that green is just a little flatter than I thought it was. Okay, we see weirdly helping winds here. Okay, we can put this one very safely beyond all those trees. So we can just let the wind push this to the right, push it forward, bounce it safely beyond all those trees, and have a very, very short approach shot here. Almost weirdly short. Now, what do I want to do with this wind that's pushing us straight ahead, 89 yards away? Definitely backspin, but I have to make sure I carry that bunker. Let's aim this to about there. We'll hit it with a little less than pin-high power and just let this glide up there. This one's a little scary, actually. But let's try to make it work.
Nice shot.
Okay, that should hopefully just glide to a stop, and it will. That's a very, very makeable eagle putt. 3 feet away, just straight down that hill. I wasn't trying to do anything super special, just wanted that to glide to a stop about pin high, and it does, which leaves us a nice putt for our 7th eagle through 14. Can we pick up 3 in the last 4 holes? Let's try it out. Okay. Hole 15 is once again just going to see these maximum winds. The game just does not cooperate when it knows that you're doing well. Now, the wind is in a fine direction. It's almost like testing me. Because it's like, okay, I'll give you the strongest winds. However, it's going to be in the direction that you need. So, good luck making the proper shot. Let's aim this one just a bit, just a tiny, tiny touch. Do I even want to aim it left, actually? Because the wind is pushing this very slightly left. I actually think I don't. Let's keep the club selection. Aim it slightly short of pin high, because the wind's going to push this pretty far forward. Try to just bounce this up and get lucky. Let's see. Okay, I think that was pretty good. Take a little kick. Oh, it's going to glide. I thought that might have a chance to, you know, scream up and in, which is really what you have to do, smack the pin with this wind, but didn't really have a chance with that wind. It just has to hit the pin, and it just, you know, ended up a little left of it. Okay. Let's tap in a birdie putt. A little disheartening to see the way the ball reacted there. We'll sink it inside the left edge. Let's move on to hole 16. Can we make the final 3? We need to get super lucky with the conditions on 17 and 16. Are we going to see helping winds? Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. This is doable. As far as this hole goes, this is about as doable as it gets. Let's hit it over that little shortcut gap. We should be able to safely make this.
Nice shot.
With the wind pushing very slightly to the left. We can put it between all those trees. We really have to see no wind on hole 17. We see very light wind here. We still have to make this chip, which is by no means easy. We just have to hit this a little short of pin high. Probably about to there, because it kind of bounces and glides. This one always bounces and glides. We'll hit it to about there. Try to get lucky with it. That's just not going to do it, is it? No, it's going to glide to a stop behind the pin and not fall. This is such a difficult pin on hole 16. We always see that little difficult pin. I'm not very good at making this one from that front bunker, which when you see light, doable winds is where you end up. You end up in that front bunker. It's just such a difficult pin to try to make, and we don't make it when we really need to. That would have been a huge eagle number 8. And we'll see some, you know, light winds. I mean, not easy by any means on hole 17. It's never easy, but doable. Helping winds, not super strong. Let's see if we can make it anyway.
Nice shot.
So that should get pushed just a little bit. That's going to glide. It always has that little launch roll. Maybe it's a local tee thing. I feel like this doesn't happen super often when I play competitively, but it feels like every time I miss this pin or this green in the challenge series, or miss the shot in general, it ends up just gliding all the way by. So we'll have to try to make a tough little chip here for the birdie. See if we can sink one on 18. So there's a birdie chip, a nice birdie chip. We've got a pretty good round going. What are we, 22 under, I think? Maybe a little more. 23 under through 17. So we have a chance here to go 25 under, which is a very good round for me. But it's just a little frustrating because we just couldn't make that chip on 16. It just glides to a stop when I needed it to bite. 17 just wasn't super cooperative, and we saw some doable conditions, and I just didn't quite take advantage of them on some of the back 9. So, just a tough day. We'll see if we can pick up eagle number 7 here. Should be pretty doable with these conditions, but you never know. Let's try our best. Aim that one a good amount out to the right. Hit it with the proper power. We'll call it about there. Roll it up there and see. Can we put that nicely on the back of the green? That actually looks pretty promising. Okay, so we gave ourselves a nice little eagle putt there, just up that hill. It's going to move a little to the right, but not much of an issue to pick up eagle number 7 here. Oh man, this feels like just a weird mix between a missed opportunity because I saw makeable conditions. But you know, if I really think about it, it was not very easy, ever. I just saw the proper wind directions. I'm thinking about hole 7. I'm thinking about hole 15. I'm thinking about that not great miss on hole 13. You know, just a slight miss power on hole 11 that looked pretty doable. Just left some on the table. We'll pick up... Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eagles? We had 8. I miscounted. I thought I was on 7. Okay, wait. We were on 7 going into 16. I needed 3 more. 8, 9, 10. That makes sense now. Eagle number 8. Okay. 25 under, 8 eagles, 1 par for a... I mean, 25 under is a pretty good score for me. I'll take that. But just a little frustrating with that round. I just saw some conditions that felt doable, but they were not easy by any means. A very testing seed today. We'll have to try again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We're so close. Let's keep trying.